vaccine. Number one way.
That's right.
People.com. Barack Obama reveals he tested positive for COVID-19.
Oh, no.
Quote, grateful to be vaccinated and boosted.
Boosted.
They played the Obama card. Let's see what it says here. Barack Obama has tested positive for COVID-19. The former president, 60, announced his diagnosis in a statement shared on Facebook and Twitter Sunday afternoon. Quote, just tested positive for COVID. I had a scratchy throat for a couple of days, but I am feeling fine otherwise, he wrote, noting that he and his wife, Michelle Obama, are, quote, grateful to be vaccinated and boosted. Barack also confirmed that Michelle, 58, has tested negative.
Okay.
Quote, it's a good reminder that even as cases go down, you should get vaccinated and boosted if you haven't already to help prevent more serious symptoms and giving COVID to others, Barack urged.
Whoopsies, Barack. Whoopsies. Some fake news there, Barack Obama.
Yeah. Well,
doesn't keep you from spreading the disease, Barack.
Yeah.
Oh, hate it when these public figures spread fake news. Did he get banned from Twitter for that?
Not yet.
No, not yet. Okay.
Barack has been vocal about the importance of getting vaccines since COVID-19 vaccines became available. The politician who got vaccinated on March...
we don't need the rest of the propaganda. We get the point. Okay, well, speaking of which, Barack Obama should be happy to hear. You have more on that?
I'm just going to say, very interesting that they played it now. Like, it must be because... everyone's attention's on the war and nobody cares about the vaccine. So
the signal, it's a good signal when it comes to, what we're getting in the news. You talk about signal and noise.
Yeah.
And Barack Obama getting COVID-19 is a good signal because people are wondering, like, okay, there's a lot of Ukraine stuff, but what about COVID? What's going on with COVID? Like, we just forget about COVID. Like, people
Barack
notice.
Like, don't worry, I'm here. I'm Barack Obama, and I got COVID now.
And this is Obama is signal that can break through the noise. He's a big enough figure, a beloved enough figure that he can break through the static and be like, COVID's still here. I got it. And but I'm vaxxed and boosted, so go ahead and do the same thing.
It's interesting about just the timing of playing the Obama card is interesting, But let's move on here and let's talk about this Washington Post article that's accompanied by a video here, a transcript of the Washington Post subscriber exclusive Albert Bourla author moonshot inside Pfizer's 9-month race to make the impossible possible. There's a sit-down interview with Pfizer CEO, and there was this interesting exchange here between the interviewer and Albert Bourla.
You write that it was, quote, most counterintuitive to go the mRNA route. And yet you went that route. Explain why.
It was counterintuitive because Pfizer was mastering, or let's say we had very good experience and expertise with multiple technologies that could give a vaccine. Adenoviruses, that some of the other vaccines are. We were very good in doing that. Protein vaccines, we were very good in doing that, and plus many other technologies. mRNA was the technology that we had less experience, only 2 years working on this. And actually, mRNA was a technology that never delivered a single product until that day.
Hey, we've been saying that for like the whole
not
time.
Vaccine, not any other medicine. So it was very counterintuitive, and I was surprised when they suggested to me that this is the way to go. And I questioned it, and I asked them to justify, how can you say something like that? But they came and they were very, very convinced that this is the right way to go. They felt that the 2 years of work on mRNA since 2018, together with BioNTech, to develop a flu vaccine, made them believe that the technology is mature and we are at the cusp of delivering a product. So they convinced me. I follow my instinct that they know what they're saying. They're very good. And we made this very difficult decision at that.
So there you go.
Very difficult decision.
Something interesting. His just a visual thing, but at the very end, the door behind him it opens mysteriously and then closes mysteriously. I don't know if that was a tap on the shoulder from one of the handlers or something.
I wonder if it looks like he's at his house or something.
Yeah, sure.
Might be his kid.
Yeah, but very interesting that he keeps referring to they. They came and they were convinced, and so I was looking at the transcript and I was trying to dig out like who's they, and it's not that clear. It seems like it's like colleagues and like partners or something. It was something along those lines.
Very vague, huh?
Super vague. And so, I mean, I think he has handlers. Clearly, he wasn't in on the whole technology and he questioned it. It's interesting that he would even say that now. It's kind of like, what are you getting? Are you sort of hedging against some of the negative things that may come out long term?
Yeah. Why is this even a discussion?
Yeah.
Like why? I was so hesitant. I was very skeptical about the mRNA because there had been no product ever come to market and mRNA. Yes, we're wondering the same thing, Albert.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, but they told me this is what we are going to do.
They convinced me. It's like,
convinced me.
How did they convince you?
Yeah.
I wrote a book. Read book. I think
Very
that's what the point
sketchy.
is.
Very, very sketchy.
Yep. So yeah, it's all part of his book, Moonshot, inside Pfizer's 9-month race to make the impossible possible. So I think he's definitely still towing the other side. He's just, he's
it's
reaching
good
out.
timing, though. Good timing on the book to sort of solidify the, I don't know, the not quite the narrative. There's just sort of like the loyalty, the Pfizer loyalty as the data is coming out and there's inconsistencies in their study data and the crimes are starting to sort of be brought into the light. A good time to sort of solidify his base and write a book about the miracle of what we did in 9 months. Don't forget about it and ignore all the data and the FOIA requests and everything dropping.
Yeah, the other thing to mention, we do have in our show notes here a link to Frontiers in Virology and the study here, MSH3 homology and potential recombination linked to SARS-CoV-2 furin cleavage site. A pretty technical term, but basically this is the paper that showed that the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein and MSH3, a little part here that says a blast search of the 12-inch nucleotide insertion led us to a 100% reverse match in a proprietary sequence found in the U.S. patent number 9587003 filed on February 4th, 2016.
Yep.
So this is the actual study saying, hey, we reverse engineered it. We can see that, yes, this sequence here was patented back in 2016.
Yeah, so, this is this the Moderna investigation or is this a separate investigation?
I think it's Moderna. Let me double check.
Because remember Moderna CEO was like, oh, yes, I have heard that COVID is found in one of our patents but we'll be investigating this.
Yes,
we'll let you know.
Yes, that is the, it's Moderna, it looks like. So
this is their investigation.
Well, I don't know if it's Moderna investigating.
Well, that's what I'm asking. I'm wondering if this is their investigation or somebody else's investigation.
It looks like somebody else. Department of Molecular Medicine, University of Padova, Michigan State, Morsani College, Division of Hematology, Oncology. Yeah, it just looks like just some scientists or whatever. Got in there.
So perhaps more of an independent investigation or
which
something.
Would make sense that they would point stuff like this out if they are a little more independent from the establishment. This is a no-no for the establishment, but just interesting and maybe something to take a look at if you're trying to, convince some normies that stuff is not what it seems.
And certainly almost all of our listeners have heard this before, but if you're kind of wondering what the heck we're talking about, came out last month that the genetic sequence for COVID-19 was found in reverse, identical but reversed in a 2016 Moderna patent.
Yeah.
And it was sort of so strange that even the Moderna CEO had to respond to it and be like, "Oh, I'm unaware of this, but we will investigate.
We are looking into the claims.
We'll let you know." Uh-oh.
Oops.
Yeah. But it turns out at least this study finds that it is true. That coincidence. You know, it's so funny because if you're an anti sort of questioning the narrative person, if you're a narrative loyalist, you'd say, well, you know, you get an infinity amount of chimpanzees all typing on typewriters that eventually one of them will write Shakespeare.
Right.
And, you know, there's so much content within one single DNA strand that, yes, if you get an infinite amount of scientists patenting an infinite amount of genetic codes, someday one will be identical but reversed to a
the biggest pandemic the world has ever seen.
A history-shifting pathogen with questionable provenance, and you know, billions of dollars and elite lizard people wrapped up in you know, the planning and handling of it. But so, you know, these sort of weird things happen in history. It's
interesting that it's specifically the spike protein, though. You know, that makes it all the more fascinating, considering all the stuff we've covered with it.
The number one, like the most important mechanism of COVID,
right,
is the one that was in the patent. Yeah. This is not a very good look for people trying to, you know, keep the original narrative alive.
I wonder if that was part of convincing Borla, you know, the Pfizer CEO. It's like, hey, look, we have the patent.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I guess it's going to work then.
Yeah.